Alright guys, I'm back with my review of this week's episode of Redneck Island, Season 2, Episode 7, Hauling Ass. And this episode starts off with Steve having them all come up to his place for his Steve Says Challenge, which is a trivia game. And they have to answer all these questions, and if you get one wrong, you lose a beer. And you only have 6, and the first person to lose all 6 gets sent home immediately. So everybody's freaking out. Heather is hysterical. Donna's crying. So it's a really intense challenge that he just kind of sprung on him at the last minute and said, hey, if you lose, you're sent home. And it comes down to Donna, Kelly, and Heather. It's a really close game, but Kelly ends up losing, and she gets sent home here, which is really sad because she just escaped elimination. She thought she was going home for sure, and they sent home Joe, and she got a second chance, and she was all happy, and then she gets eliminated here. Back at the camp, Heather and Nick go on a date. It was some comedy stuff here. It felt to me like some of the stuff they did in the first season where the producers are just telling them things to do around camp to make it more entertaining. But it was funny. And the reckoning is a donkey race. This was awesome. They have to ride these donkeys, and you're allowed to pull the donkey, but you cannot cross the finish line unless you're riding it. So it starts off and nobody's donkeys are doing anything. They're walking in the opposite direction. Some of them, like Wade's, wouldn't even move. It was hilarious. And Justin, who is huge, grabs his donkey and tries to drag it. And he actually gets a huge lead on the others doing this, but eventually they start to catch up, and he jumps on his donkey to try and get like a little boost and keep this momentum going, and it's just not happening. He cannot get on this thing. So Nick's doing the best. He has a donkey that actually works, and he crosses the finish line and wins, and it comes down to Wade, and all the others just pass him, and he's right in front of the finish line, but his donkey will not move. And he's just sitting there, and everybody is passing him. And he gets off the donkey, he's in last place, he lost, and then the donkey just walks across the finish line. It was great. I really enjoyed this challenge. So the girls want Nick because he has immunity. They want him to vote for Darren and get rid of one of the guys. And the guys want him to vote for Eliza. So he's on the fence here, and I can understand why this is such a big predicament for him, because if he votes off Darren, Wade and Justin are going to be pissed, and they're going to start going after him. But if he votes off Eliza, he's going to be stuck with more guys for the final challenge, and of course he would rather compete against the women. And he's kind of screwed no matter what he does, because unless he plans to win immunity for every single challenge, if this game ends like the first season where it's down to 3 for the final challenge, then he's getting sent home because the girls are not going to want to compete against him. He's a strong player. So as soon as it's down to 4 or 5 or whatever and it's all girls, they're going to vote him off if he doesn't win immunity every single time. So he's really screwed no matter what he does. But at elimination, he decides to send home Darren. He's going to take his chances with the girls. And the girls, I mean, if they eliminate Justin, and Wade and Justin, or Wade wins an immunity, they're going to have to vote someone off. And it's either going to be one of the other girls, and they're going to start turning on each other, or they're just going to vote off Nick. So it's going to get really crazy now that it's down to individuals for the show. But at elimination, he does send home Darren, and Wade and Justin are pissed. I mean, you could feel the intensity. As soon as Steve pulled out another Darren can, before they even knew he was sent home, and it was down to 1 can, Wade just gave Nick the death stare. And I was like, oh shit, man, I wouldn't want to be in that position. But yeah, he voted off Darren, and in the preview for next week's episode, Wade and Justin destroy the camp over this. They're breaking stuff, they're so pissed off. So yeah, it's really going to start heating up, and I think there's 3 episodes left in this season if it does end on 10 like the first season. But I've really enjoyed it so far. There's definitely been some more drama than the first season. People still get along, but now oh man, it's going to get cutthroat. So anyways, that's my review of this week's episode. A great episode this week. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's episode in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye.